Hey, um, let me take this down. So, how are you? We're back again, and we're at Global Hack Week. We are in the Global Hack Week for social good. So, I'm very glad to be here. As you can see, my name is Alberto. I post here in the comments a link, so please do not forget to register in the MLH portal. So, um, that's it. I'm really nervous to be honest because this is the first topic that it's really an important topic. And if you don't know what I'm talking about yet, you can see the title. It is accessibility. Accessibility based on web accessibility is very serious. And to be honest, yeah, I was very nervous to give this speech because I'm not an expert. I'm some guy who's learning and wanted to share with you my process and everything. So I will be glad to answer questions you have related to this. During this session, we will be learning what accessibility is, why it is important, why it is important for us as developers. Short story long, it will save you from being sued. Yeah, that's a real thing, and more if you're from North America, because remember, uh, that's a law. Yes, in some places, these are mandatory part of the law. For me, for example, in Mexico, regulation it's not that hard. I don't know for specific countries, talking about Canada or APEC, but for sure in the US, this is a really, really strong thing. They even have a special government section for that. But I don't want to feel stressed about it yet. Let's go step by step, right? We first, I like to start these sessions reading some comments, saying hi to the people. For example, here we have for Tudichunti. Hello, hello. I'm really glad you're here, and especially for every one of you. Um, I see. Now we have a lot of people joining us, so that's awesome. Uh, hey, it's Mess Hub. Also have from Tomar. Yeah, I think that house brands. And or hello, um, Baishan. Hi. Also from Rick and Jiwik. Also and Sura. Hello, hello, you everyone. So, um, I was going to start with showing my screen, but let me first make sure um you hear me well. Okay, based on the comments, I think you can hear me well. You can see me, and that's everything. So we are 10 minutes past 3 for my local time. Uh, we have people here from Canada. That's cool. So, yeah, tell me, where are you from? Let's try to investigate how's the law in this topic related during this session. Yeah, Canada present. That's cool. Um, so Canada's in the house here. I'm from Mexico. I'm very sure many of you are from the US. Um, we usually have a lot of people from the APEC, from India, um, and in the Europe uh, region. But I don't see it in the comments right now. Maybe it's too early for them or too late. So, um, the theme around this global hack week, it's social good. Remember that, and I want to tell you first the story why I choose to run this accessibility track. Um, the last year, I think maybe in May, yeah, 1 year ago, um, I ran a hackathon, and the main topic about the hackathon was the not accessibility, but um, what's the word? It's different in English. Sorry, let me try to remember that. Um, suitability. Yeah, I think um, it's funny thing because in Spanish there are two words for that. Uh, it's sostenibilidad with an O and sustentabilidad with a U. But they are like different between them. There's a slight difference between them. I mean, but in English, I think they're used same for both. Uh, sustainability, yeah. So the track about the sustainability, it's there are 17 goals from the um, what's that? Nations United. Yeah. Well, there are 17 goals, and one of them is accessibility. But this in particular, accessibility, is the one I liked it. I mean, I put all my attention on it, and I started to learn and go deep myself learning. And I think it's very important um, because, as a matter of fact, 20 around 20-15% of all the entire globe population has any accessibility um, disability. I mean, like they cannot read, or they cannot hear, or they cannot move the way we do. We are very lucky about that. Um, Trying to think our products and how as we develop them, um, it's very important. I have a question here. What will be the tech stack? In this in particular session, we are not going to code anything. We are going to learn how to audit the code we did before, or someone else's code. And in the next session, which we let me check quickly. Um, I think on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Just 1 second about it. Yeah, on Thursday 9. Yeah, on that session we are going to write code, accessible and everything. And not just our code, we are going to make a contribution to an open source project to make it accessible to anyone. So that's the magic in there. Then that's why this session is also important, because you need to know what we're going to do next Thursday, right? Um, Also, we have a comment from Nigeria. That's very cool. I don't know what time is it for you, but I think it's insane you're here. Thanks a lot. And back on track. Remember, accessibility is important because not all of us has the same opportunities, and the ways we normally use the web are not the way for all the people. So, in general terms, make something accessible. It's to think it, develop it, build it, whatever verb you want to put before, um, but to make it so anyone can use it. I'm thinking, I'm saying anyone, like really anyone, not, oh, I think my camera bleep, okay. Um, I'm saying anyone, like if someone has the disability of seeing, uh, or the disability of motion or disability of any kind, they can be able to use the product or the thing you are developing, right? Um, for example, in schools, it has to have this alternative to stairs, like elevators, ramps, and everything for students. So they need to uh, take their classes and just being as any other student. Uh, if you have taken the subway, you can see there are on the floor to guide the people who cannot see to get to the train and everything. So that's accessibility. When we think of it as specific for web, well, I have some notes here, and I want to read them to be as clear as I can. Sorry, as clear as I can. Sorry for my internet connection, but I hope you can hear me well. If something got lost between uh, a bleep, just put it in the comment and I will happily repeat it. So, web accessibility means that people with disabilities can use the web equally. I was talking about it. Um, so, for example, you can think of like this right now. I'm sharing my video and you can hear my audio, but if someone has not the ability to hear the same way we do, um, it will be easy for him to read closed captions here. So that will make this session more accessible, right? Um, Also, you probably hear of screen readers. Screen readers are these software applications that takes each part of the screen you're seeing and how to say it, reads the information of it to people who cannot see the way we do. It's kind of tricky because you may be thinking of the way I see it. For example, I'm going to describe what I'm seeing in my computer right now. I'm seeing the StreamYard logo, then the making an accessible website global hack with title, then like the buttons from where I'm broadcasting, an edit button, a share button, the comment section, banners, brand, etc. Right? So how have people, the people who cannot see the way we do, will interpret this information? Well, first we need like the order. We will start because we're from Occident. Start reading from left to right, from the top from to bottom, right? So the first thing the screen reader is going to say, it's like stream your logo. But how does the screen reader interpretates that that image? It's from the StreamYard and it's a logo. Well, we need to tell the screen reader what it is and what does it represent. And we can actually give the screen reader um, not correct information. I mean, if I put like the StreamYard logo put in the alt, I put like this is sunset image. The screen reader will read that, and the person using the screen reader will think that it's a sunset image there, but actually it is not. That is the thing I was saying. It's kind of tricky, right? Because we need to be very descriptive, very honest, and as much as, yeah, descriptive as we can. So first of all, I need to convince you, right, that we need to develop for accessibility. Why do I need to develop for accessibility? Now, it's very clear. I think, to be honest, what's accessibility, right? Um, Especially for the web. If not, leave in the comments. I can try to explain it another way, or you can always go back and hear the explanation again in the video. But now the question is why? Why do I need to make my website accessible for everyone? Well, um, I was really hoping the answer would be like, because I'm a good person and I want all to use my website as they, well, as I thought they could use it. Actually, access to the information, including the web, it's described as a human right. So that should be it. That should be just enough reason. But in the real world, it is not, right? I was talking about that in some places this is mandatory. It's part of the law. For example, in the U.S. So first, besides being a good person, it can't prevent you for being um, sued. Like there are litigations happening right now to websites for not completing the regulations about accessibility in the US, and that's a real thing. So not being a good person works for you. Okay, not being sued works for you. The second, and the second and more important, if you want to be like in the positive way, it can help you get more traffic. And when you develop for accessibility, you realize that most uh, I don't know how to say this, but you can think as the SEO robot, like the algorithm deciding which page appears first and which later and so on. It's kind of not seeing a person and not hearing, and like a person, with all disabilities, right? So the robots and the algorithm works the same way as a person with disabilities, because you need to tell the algorithm if an image is an image and what does that image contains. If a section has A, B, or C topics, and if this section is related to the other section, and etc. and etc. And once you've done this for accessibility, either for accessibility or SEO, uh, both get beneficiated, right? So it helps you improve your tracking, because now the algorithm has more info to know what's your page about, and gives you better indexing and web browser and etc. So you get better SEO. Um, and also your design get better. So that's also a strong reason to build around accessibility. So we have three: being a good person, not get a lawsuit, and improve your page SEO, right? SEO, sorry. I was talking about SEO. Um, and yeah, so that are the main reasons. So we had what it is an accessible website, why we need an accessible website, and now the question is how we build an accessible website. Well, thanks for us, the um, W3C, which stands for let me think again. I forgot what World Web World Wide Web Consortium. Yeah, the World Wide Web Consortium makes the standard for us to follow around accessibility. And this standard in particular, it's the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, WCAG. I'm going to put it in the comments so you won't forget it. Here, the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, it's the standard for the, the minimum parameters they recommend. Um, Again, for specific regions like North America, Canada, the Mexico, Nigeria, or whatever, you will have to like what are the minimum of this I need to follow in order to be um, persecuted by the law. But yeah, in a ideal world, everyone should follow this standard. This standard is also ISO 40500, and applied in Europe it's EN 301549. So it's like all very um, precise, right? And this standard is built around four main principles, which is perceivable. The people, no matter the disability they have, needs to perceive your page the same way you normally do. Again, with the examples, you may have a big picture, and we all know a picture says more than 1,000 words. But you probably will have to say that 1,000 words uh, beside the picture, because everyone is got to see the picture, but that everyone, it's probably a person who cannot actually see. So in the alt tag from the HTML, you will have to add the description of the photo that's perceivable. So remember, being being the text can be interpreted non-text can be interpreted as a text. Um, the other principle in which this is built, it's operable. Everyone gets has to be the ability from to operate your website. Um, for example, for us, it's you may think it's really easy. You just hit and type and use the mouse and click, etc. But again, thinking of everyone's not everyone has the ability to use the hands the way we use. Not everyone has the ability to move a mouse. For example, um, I'm thinking the one disability that may be really common, it's because of age related things. For example, my grandpa cannot be able to move like a steady mouse to hit submit or to check boxes or whatever. So think of them. It's part of thing in an accessible way. I know it's a lot of information. Feel free to leave your comments on the comment section. I periodically check them and try to answer them. For example, here. Uh, oh no, it's not a question. It's just it's hello from Tiny. So that's perfect. Don't worry. Resuming, we were talking about the principle of being perceivable, being operable, and the third is understandable, right? We and this is a thing I personally uh, find very hard. Even not just developing, just talking with friends and family and etc. I tend to use words that may not be in the vocabulary of everyone. So I don't know. I'm talking of clusters and etc. And trying examples with Linux things or advanced comments and blah 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 blah. And that may be confusing for the people we're hearing, for our audience. Um, when we try to develop accessible, we try to use the most understandable things from what we are talking, right? This doesn't mean we don't. It's like you must not use special vocabulary or I mean, like if your website is masters on something. Well, when you're mastering something, you tend to use a specific knowledge, right? I don't mean that. I mean trying to be as understandable as we can. It's another principle in which this um standard is built on. Um, the fourth one and the last one is robustness. Also, we need to develop for being robust because we want and we encourage uh, accessibility tools like again the screen readers, like auto-generated closed captions, like a lot of new accessibility tools, like these ones from the browser that change all the color for people who cannot see color, etc. We want that applications to be able to use our website or the application we develop. So Yeah, it has to be robust also. Um, Now we have a question, and I think it's a good time to answer that because we just saw like the four principles of the standard. Remember, this standard is the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. We have hello. What is the program plan for this session? Can you please explain more? The Okay, it is related to. Okay. This is a good question. Hello, what is the program plan for this session? And first, that question. Um, First, we learn what accessibility is. I already explained that. Okay, sorry, I think my connection got lost for a second. I already explained that. You can go back in the video and see all the explanation again. But to make it short, accessibility is the for making the product for being able for everyone to use it. Uh, and everyone hits the keyword because everyone normally represent just the people as you, but now we want to make it visible that up to 20% of the population has some way of disability, right? So let's expand our concept of everyone. I like this question because that was a nice recap, right? Then we we learn what accessibility for web specifically is, and it's almost the same, but just applied to the web. And me reading the things we can attack, like closed captions and screen readers and color contrast and everything. So that's the what, right? Then why we need to develop accessible websites. I put three main reasons. Uh, in the world I would like to live, we just need one. That is because we are really nice persons, and we like to think of others. But no, the second that's why we need a second one, because no one is that um, no one is that nice, right? The second one is for avoiding lawsuits, because this is mandatory in some regions, and that's why we start talking about the WCAG, which I'm going to explain in a second, which is the standard from the World Wide Web com, Congress compound. I don't know exactly the meaning of that signature, but yeah, it's the W3C, the association that gave us the standard. So that's the second reason. It is important. And the third one, and the one I'm trying to encourage more because helps you being a better developer, and you can actually put that in your resume, because you uh, upgrade the SEO of your page, you do a better performance, and uh, if you follow these principles of the WCAG, then you have a more robust website, right? So, what, why, and we are answering now the how that led us to your next question. What is the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines? It is not related to a PWA, because PWA is Progressive Web App. Well, that's what I think you're meaning with PWA. If not, please let me know on the comments. But PWA, it's more like a technical thing for being able to use the websites as applications or similar in our devices. No, no, no. The WCAG, it's accessibility guideline, web content accessibility guideline, and that means it has all the resources and all the specifications we need to cover in order to have a website that could be able for being used for all population, including the ones with disabilities. Um, that's it. That was a really nice recap. Another question: do we need to do all the tasks in MLH? Sorry, I don't understand your question. You mean like register in the MLH page? If that is the question, yes. Please go here and register. Another for Tintin. Hello, what is the web roadmap? How do you say? Okay, how do you become a master of the web content accessibility guidelines? First of all, you need to read them, right? Where do you read them? I'm going to share with you the page. Here it is. Now you can see it. See it. You can see it. So this is for the main page of the W3C or Wide Web Consortium. But you need to go to a specific part of that, which is the WAE, Web Accessibility Initiative, the Y, and that's part of the W3C, which has all the topics about the accessibility, and that's where you can find the document for the WCAG. I love. I know that's a lot of acronyms, but it's not easy. Sorry, it's not that hard. It's really easy when you start like joining all the points. Why I put the main page and not specifically the why section, because all the standards on all the information in the W3C, it's really important. And also, if you're really new and you want to start learning about how to program, how to build your first website, what is HTML, what is CSS, and etc. They have a lot of useful resources about that. I think they even have like free courses, and that's the same with the WCAG. They have free courses on the accessibility. If you go in the homepage of the Y, they have like accessibility fundamentals, planning and policy, design, developing, testing, etc., etc. There's a section in which you can find all the courses available for free, right? Uh, what else? Let me see. Yep. So that's the answer for how do you become from zero to hero. Hello, is the content accessibility guidelines method or a technique? Thanks. It is a guideline. It's just as the name says, it's a standard you need to follow. Um, yeah, so they also have the WIPE, yeah, the Web Accessibility Initiative. They develop something I wanted to talk with you that it's very important, and you maybe heard of it before, which is ARIA. ARIA, it's the Accessible Reach internet applications. Yeah, but what does ARIA does? Well, the ARIA provides semantics, and so authors can convey user interface behaviors and structural information to assistive technologies. Assistive technologies are the screen readers and the closed caption generators and everything, right? So the concept here is that ARIA helps the DOM in order to generate another important thing around accessibility, which is the accessibility tree. If you go now, right now, and inspect the browser you're using, you probably see the same things you normally do, like network, like console, like the DOM tree, and everything, memory. But there's a section in there you probably have noticed before, which is the accessibility section. In the accessibility section, we can see the accessibility tree. Um, why that is important? The accessibility tree it's that important because it generates the APIs for the accessibility technologies and the accessibility tools to communicate with our application. And that's how the screen readers and the accessibility tools in general works. So in this point, we know what accessibility is, why, and how. Let's go deep in how. I'm going to start. I hope you can see it. Just give me a second. This is not sharing. Sorry. Oh, not sharing yet. Just one second. Oh, internet is really slow. Sorry for that. Well, meanwhile, I can talk about something. How do I started in this? Okay, no, sorry. You're supposed to see it now. Okay, yeah, you are supposed to see it now. So please leave in the comments if you can see it. If not, also leave in the comments so I can check what's wrong. Right. Um, I'm going to go here first just to show visual help of what I was talking. This is the W3C World Wide Web. I can't remember what the C is for. Let's see. World Wide Web Congress? No, World Wide Web Conglomerate Consortium. World Wide Web Consortium. Okay, that was just in my head. Sorry. If you go to the World Wide Web Consortium, they have like this accessibility section, web security, privacy, payments, data. They have a lot of useful resources. Again, this is this must be a pin tab in. But let's just focus now on the accessibility. The accessibility section is called Web Accessibility Initiative. Why again? W3C slash Y. And here we can learn about the latest topics and become a better developer. we go to the accessibility fundamentals, and here we can see they have a lot of resources, a lot of info, and even courses, right? Let me see. Okay, here are digital courses. Digital Accessibility Foundation is a free online course list of digital accessibility education, training, and certification. So here it's all information you need basically. But also, if you're from the United States, there's another useful web you can see, and it's the ADA site. ADA, it's let me remember, uh, a lot of words I have to remember for this session. Um, Here it was like American with Disabilities Act. Yeah, sorry, totally forgot what this means, but yeah, the also this page it's very important for you as an American citizen and also an American developer because it's amazing how they even have it in the main page. Avoid a lawsuit. Uh, I think this may be a really common thing for them because again, it's in the law. You have to develop the thinking of these guidelines. But yeah, so if you can come here, they have a lot of resources, materials, and they even have a section in which you can put your URL from your website, your email, and they make an audit for you and send you like the results. Um, Solutions. They have a free tools section. Yeah, yeah, they do like all these things. So you can see the WCAG um, at Web Accessibility and Compliance Solutions. You can contact them or whatever you want, but have this in mind. They also have like this little section here, just to do like an accessibility check on your page. Uh, very useful. So let me share with you this URL. Um, yep, here it is. Uh, ada.gov. And also have the question, it is possible to watch this video? Yeah, once I finish this, which be in a few minutes, you can replay it on Twitch. So before we finish, I want to share another tool. Let me just stop sharing. Oh yeah, I have you. Okay. First, the WebAIM page. The WebAIM page is a page. Think of this page as the standard of what your page should look like. I'm going to start my screen reader. If you're a Mac user, it's with Command and clicking on the Touch ID button 3 times. Let me see. It doesn't start. Okay. Uh, I think you can hear it because of my headphones, but let me unplug them.
Ahora.
Yeah. Um, well, it's over. It's now. It's active now.
VoiceOver encendido Firefox.
It's
Navegación
Spanish
privada con
because
WebAIM.
my
Web
computer is in
Accessibility in
Spanish.
Mind. Ventana. WebAIM. Web Accessibility in Mind. Contenido web. Tiene el centro de atención del
I'm
teclado.
going to start explaining
Actualmente
as
estás
again.
en contenido web. Para entrar en el área web, presiona control, opción, enlace, enlace, technical assist, enlace, estrategia, enlace, submit search, enlace, 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 imagen, web and web accessibility mind, banner. Actualmente estás en nivel de encabezado 2. Navegación privada con Major League King. Actualmente estás en un banner dentro de contenido web. Visitado enlace, imagen. Visitado enlace. Hackathon. Visitado enlace. Jobs and internships. Visitado visitado enlace, visitado enlace, enlace, imagen. GHW Banner 3. Enlace. MLH Relaunches 2023 Summer Fellowship Program. Actualmente estás en un nivel de encabezado 4. VoiceOver apagado.
Okay, you all saw it. That is how a screen reader works. Um, I couldn't speak during the demonstration because, you know, uh, the thing is you have to hear the voice. Uh, it was in Spanish, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to explain what happened. First, as I was telling you, we as Occident people start reading from left to right and from top to bottom. So if you saw, there were like these square highlighted things, which first it was highlighted like the MLH logo, then the navigation section, and the screen reader was telling me what does the highlighted section was. For example, the hackathons button, or the community button, or the logo. Go to the main page section, and so on, so on, so on. So again, let me show you my screen. If I go here, talking about the MLH page, and open the develop tools, I was talking about the inspector, console, network, and everything we normally use, but we do not normally use the accessibility tool. So here we can see the accessibility tree, and every node here, just as the in the DOM tree, will tell us what does this represent. And this is the thing, the accessibility technologies, just as the voiceover application that comes built in the Mac, use for read all our content. So for example, here, uh, it was saying like link, job and internships as tags, and these links go to, and it has all the information here with the actions and everything. So if we want to make an audit of our own website, we can go here and try exploring that the things we want to share, the things we want to be list in our page, be here for the people who will be seeing our page like this. Basically, they will be interacting with our page as this tree does. So I was talking about this example. Maybe in the Major League Hacking page, it's not the best example to go and see these as the things we need to cover. Um, that's not bad. That's just an opportunity for us to improve that, because you will see here a lot of empty quotes, right? But if we go to the web I'm page, and again, I was talking about this page as the example of how our web pages should look like for being accessible. We can find that in the accessibility tree, they are more documented notes. For example, the document has a name, and this section has a landmark, and the landmark has another section, and has a heading, and it has another landmark, and it has another section. And those headings are a link which tell us what the link is for, that tell us sorry what this section is. And oh, this is very important, and this is called the skip link, and it's very used and commonly used, sorry, in the screen readers for like navigating, uh, and we cannot see it unless we were using like the screen reader. But I'm not activating that again, don't worry. See, so we have paragraphs, we have links, and we have a lot of information of how the screen reader can tell the people using our page or application or whatever we are developing, but more like descriptive. Yeah, that's the word. It's not hard. Just be very descriptive. Just tell your code what you are doing and why. Use semantic HTML. That is why it is important. And if you always wonder like, hey, why should I use H1 and then an H2 and then an H3 and then an H4 and then an H5, if I could just simply on and with CSS add like this styling and make some span see like a heading and some span see like small text and some other see like a tree and whatever. This is the reason you probably be okay doing just deep an HTML corrupt divs, but the reason using semantic HTML, it's one, and remember the three we talk about before. One, the algorithm it's not going to understand your page unless you use semantics. The people will not understand your page unless you use semantics. And for the accessibility tools will not understand your page unless you use semantics HTML. Just to link concept again, remember the area. So you can tell me, I tried this way, but it's not working. I need to use a div as a checkbox because I want to add more functionality and etc 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 blah 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 blah. Okay, if you want to use a div as any other HTML tag, go, but use the area label to explain the accessibility tree, what you are doing and how they can interpret it in a more effective way. so the accessibility technologies can understand it better. A little parenthesis here. That will not add the functionality to the accessibility technologies, but it will help you. It will help you make more accessibility in your web. So, a little recap of the last parts we seen. We have an accessibility tree, which is built using the DOM plus the ARIA technology, which is the Accessibility Rich Internet Applications Protocol by the W3C conglomerate. Oh my god, I already forgot. But yeah, it's from the W3C and specifically from the way section. And yeah, um, that will be all for this session. I just wanted to show you uh, what first accessibility is, why it is important, and how can we start uh, developing accessible websites, right? I want to share with you just some resources. This last one is WAVE. WAVE is Web Accessibility Evaluation Tool. So you can put here an URL, for example, again, mlh.io. And here we can start seeing as the accessibility technologies will do, right? So, for example, here we have a warning. The warning say to us we are missing a first level heading. Uh, Remember semantic HTML, H1, H2, then H3, then H4, then and so on and so on. We have 20 errors and we have 50 contrast errors. What are the contrast errors? We will talking about accessibility for seeing and for motion and from hearing, right? Well, for seeing, there are people who cannot see colors. So here, for example, uh, they say to us like this is a very low contrast between the background, this yellow, and the text color, so this gray. um, for us maybe be like easy to see the difference between them, but for people who cannot see a range of color, this may be confusing because they won't see the words here and they just see a square, maybe not yellow, but like a gray square here. So here we can see the details, the reference. For example, if here I want to learn more about why it's missing alternative text, I hit here for the reference, and this page explained to me why this is wrong and what can I do to do it in a proper way. For example, we also have like the structure, the contrast, and if I remember well, they also have tools. Oh no, that was in the console. Yeah, for example, let's go back here. You can simulate visual problems. For example, if I have this protanopia problem, you can see how the colors change. You can see here and here and here. Yeah, it's not it's very subtle, right? But let's try another one. You see difference? Another one here. It starts to see like the big difference. There are people seeing this way. Uh, Achromoplasis, which is black and white. And here, here we have no contrast. And this is how some people see your page, and it's very hard for them. So we can try to improve and do better. Um, yeah. So um, I know there's a lot of information about accessibility. I know I may not be an expert, uh, but I'm learning, and I want to share with you that discoveries I've made. Uh, if you want to keep chatting about this, uh, please feel free to start a conversation on whatever channel in the Discord. Um, Tell me if you're more curious about learning from accessibility. Uh, it's valid if you say no. um, what else? Oh, there's a guy. I loved videos from YouTube to make this like process. It has a lot of useful resources, and for sure he explains way better than me. So go follow Rob Donson. Let me write it for you. Oh, Dotson. Yeah, go follow this guy. He's amazing. He does a lot of things for accessibility. Um, in our next session will be Thursday. We're not we are not just going to talk like in this session. We are going to actually start develop for accessibility. We are going to yeah, we are going to take a project, uh, verify what possible changes we can do to improve its accessibility, and make an open source contribution about that. That's it, people. Thanks a lot for being here. I love sharing with you. I hope that you take something from this talk. And yeah, uh, that was it. Thanks a lot.